What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Blazers Uprise Postgame show. I'm your host, Torrey Jones, and we're going to talk about this Blazers win against the Detroit Pistons, which it was definitely not impressive. Okay, let's just start off and say that. Wasn't an impressive win, but it was a win nonetheless. They moved to 26-32 on the season. This would have been a horrible game to lose, so to say. Actually, might have been a good game to lose, depending on if you think this team can make a playoff run or not. But we'll get into this game. We'll bring Eric on, and we'll get things going for you guys. There we go. All right. My hands are super cold. I drove home. Truck takes a while to heat up. I'm gonna get warmed up here. Alrighty, let me plug my headphones in, let me get situated, and we'll get into this post-game show. Alrighty, Eric, what's up, man? Sorry, I thought my headphones weren't working. Not much. So
you hear me?
Yeah, we good. So that was an interesting game to say the least. I mean, we almost held a team under 100, which would have been a miracle. It would have been like the 5th time this season. But I don't know, man. I don't even know how to go into this post-game show, guys. Like, do I talk about, oh, we won a game, like, you know, our offense we had some good performances, or do I talk about the fact that we barely beat the Detroit Pistons at home, a Detroit Pistons team that started Svi Mikhailuk, Thon Maker, Tony Snell, and Sekou Doumbouya? Like, we blew a 19-point first half lead. You know, there was some there were some problems, you know, early in the game. It was definitely like a frustrating game to watch, but also it was pretty entertaining. I guess I'll start with the good. CJ McCollum without Damian Lillard plays like an all-star. I don't know why he can't play like this with Damian Lillard. It's very weird. And people will say, oh, well, you know, he's the second fiddle, so he can't get the same rhythm. But CJ will play with the bench unit and be, you know, and Dame will be off the floor, and CJ doesn't play anything like this. You know what I mean? He doesn't distribute like this. He had 12 assists tonight. He had 9 assists last game. He's averaging 10.5 assists in the 2 games that Dame's out. We'll see if that continues, but it's just like the way he plays is just so much different, and I don't know why, you know? I don't know if you have an explanation for that, Eric, but
I'm not sure if it's just my end, but your audio is like cutting out more than I'm hearing you, so I don't know what you just said.
Should be. Is audio cutting out for you guys? Is audio good for you guys, or is it Eric's end? Because I think my audio was good. I was asking you basically, why can't CJ play this style of basketball when Dame is here?
Yeah, it's a frustrating part because if he just played like this, like you mentioned, and times when he's in the second unit, he plays plenty without Dame in the lineup, so that's not the excuse. Like when Dame's on the bench, he should be able to take over and be a playmaker like this. And that's the one step that he can still make at his age, is using his ball handling and his ability to get into that mid-range game as more of a playmaking guard for other people instead of just trying to get his shot all the time. So it's frustrating that he hasn't necessarily making that step consistently. But these last 2 games are pretty encouraging. I hope he realizes that he can do that.
Mello Stay says when CJ plays with our bench, he's not going to get any assists because guys cannot make shots. But that's not really the point. It's not really about the assists. It's about what he's seeing on the floor and the style of play in which he's playing with. Oh, I accidentally hung up on Eric. I didn't realize I would hang up the call. I gotta call him back. I didn't realize I would hang up the call. Anyway, I tried to close the little pop-up window and it closed the whole thing. But anyway, no, the point is with CJ is...
Maybe the audio will be better now.
Yeah, maybe. The point is with CJ is like it's not about him getting assists because there's a difference between, you know, him going one-on-one and forcing a tough shot and him making a good pass, making the right pass, and a player missing a shot. You know, that's still a different style of play that he's playing with, and it's not assist-based. He's just he just plays a different style of basketball with the bench unit too. Than he does when Dame is active and playing. Like when Dame's active and playing, CJ will get subbed out early, sub back in with a bench unit, and he'll just gun and look for his own shot. He'll make a nice pass here or there, but it's mostly just him in gunner mode. And then when Dame's out, CJ will, you know, play with the starters without Dame, but then he'll play with the bench without Dame. And in both lineups, he's looking to create for other players, which he's not looking to do when Dame is healthy. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a mental thing, like in his head, where without Dame, he's like, okay, I'm the go-to guy. I have to create shots for other people and score myself, and I have to, you know, play an all-around game. I don't know what it is, but he's just a different player without Damian Lillard on the court. And if I'm a team looking for like a star guard, right? If Olshey could sell that to a team. You know, I'm not going to get into trade CJ or whatever, but like CJ looks like an all-star caliber player without Damian Lillard. I mean, we've seen this in the past. We've seen this in previous years where without Damian Lillard, CJ will go and have 10 assist games. You know, his previous career high in assists was 10, and that was a triple-double he had without Dame. That was either earlier this year or it was last year. I can't remember, but he's just a completely different player, and he's actually like a good lead guy. You know, I don't know if he could keep it up through an entire season, but he's just a completely different player. Eric, you still there? Did Eric mute himself? We're getting all kinds of technical difficulties, man. I guess Eric muted himself or something. I don't know where he went. Alrighty. Please explain to the people at why Hassan going for blocks every time hurts the defense and he has no concept of how to hedge anything. Hassan Whiteside can hedge. He's not told to hedge. We saw him hedge early in the season. I thought he did a really good job. I don't think it's anything where he can't hedge. I think it's more he's just told to drop. Going for blocks sometimes is good, sometimes is bad. It's a situational thing. The thing is with Nurkic does a really good job of knowing when to go for blocks and then keeping it inbounds where his team can get it. And then Nurkic knows when not to go for blocks. He knows when to like try and alter shots. He knows when to not even go after a shot. That's why Nurkic is such a good rim protector. It's not as flashy as Hassan Whiteside jumping at everything and getting some amazing block shots here and there. Eric, I think you're lagging, bro. I think you're lagging. So, because my audio is fine. I think you're lagging or something. But Eric just fried his eggs. But it's just a situational thing, and that's the thing with Whiteside is he would possibly be like Gobert-esque if he knew when to go for block shots and when to you know, if he just was more situationally aware of what he should be doing out there on the court. That's the thing that separates him from somebody like Gobert. You know, Whiteside gets the blocks, he has the length, he gets off the floor quick, but he just doesn't have that situational awareness. The People's Mix says there's a Blazers promo for a donation of $25 for every block. Hassan doing the world a big service for jumping for everything. Thank you, King. I didn't even know. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I'm going to hang up on Eric. I guess I'll call him again. I don't know. He gives me all this crap for my internet. And then his is awful right now. Is there a return date for Nurk yet? Sadly, no. Nurkic has been trolling us a little bit on Twitter. Okay, good. We got your mic back. I don't know what's up with your end, but you're always giving me that crap, Eric, about my internet.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had lag issues before, but like I said, I could only hear about half of everything you say. So
yeah, when you were talking earlier, you just kind of like had that
really
laggy sound to it. So I think it's your internet, man. But no, the People's Mix. I don't doubt you. I don't doubt you. You know, they haven't really like talked about that much. I didn't realize there was a $25 promo per block, so I guess Whiteside is doing the world a service. But anyway, we're just gonna roll with chat. We don't roll with chat enough early in streams. In a game like this, where I don't know how to like really break down this game right off the bat, I'm just gonna go to you guys.
My daughter is right here next to me playing a video game that's not online. So,
I was gonna say if it was
she's
online,
not
you
the
gotta
reason.
throw her phone or her console or whatever at the wall, like
Yeah,
priorities,
yeah.
you know.
I would definitely do that. Everyone else is in bed, so I don't know what's going on.
Got you. So yeah, if you guys have any topics you want me to talk about, any questions, BS, there's no block donation. Yeah, I haven't heard it. I don't know. Anyway, so Melo had a good game tonight. Melo had a good game. He had 32 points, 11 for 60 shooting, 5 for 9 from the 3-point line. We didn't really isolate him as much. It was more him playing off the ball. He got a couple really good passes from CJ, where he got lay-ins in the first quarter. And then he was hitting threes. Like, his shot looked smoother than, his shot normally looks smooth, but it looked like on point. His form, his release, his shot was on the money. That's why he was 5 for 9 from 3. That's the type of Carmelo Anthony we need more often. He's not always going to shoot like that. Obviously, that would be insane efficiency for a whole, on average for a whole season. But we need that more often. We need that type of production more often. We need him to hit open shots like that more often. And I feel like he didn't force as much like isolation mid-range. If he didn't have a good shot, he seemed to do a good job of passing it out tonight, or at least better than he has in the past. So I like what I saw from Carmelo.
Is it just me, or on like most of his jump shots and 3-pointers, does he shoot like he's shooting trying to beat the buzzer? Like, I feel like he doesn't follow through sometimes. He just like kind of like quick shoots it,
Yeah, that's just a feel thing, I think. I mean,
yeah.
I'm kind of the same.
I just
way.
wonder
used to
like
always
if he
extend.
like held his form just a second longer, like it might be a little more consistent. But
Maybe I think
he's a top 20 scorer of all time in the NBA, so it's hard to like critique a shot. But like
I think the one thing that
I feel
causes
like
him
he
to
just,
miss
like,
with that is if he just flicks it forward, it's fine, but like sometimes he'll like bring his arm down like while the ball's coming off his hand, and I think like that tends to kind of like mess up his touch. So it's really just where he's kind of finishing at. When he finishes up, like even if he short arms it, even if he like kind of shoots it quick, it seems fine to me.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Like those times, when you're practicing the driveway, you're like 3, 2, 1. You like throw it up and you put your arms down real quick. Like I feel like he does that way too often when he doesn't have to.
Oh, well,
if he
yeah,
just
that's
like holds it a little more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm agreeing with you. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
That's always kind of been a thing with him. He's never followed through all the way. I haven't seen him ever follow through where he like completely extended his arm. If he does, it'll be like he'll like flick it back. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just the way his shot is, But he's a really good shooter. He was a really good shooter earlier in his career. Tonight he was a really good shooter. Just wish we could get that more often from him, because defensively he's kind of regressed. When he came in here, he was fresh and he was committed to that end, and he was playing with a level of energy on that end that surprised me. And he's gotten away from that. Now he's playing lazy defense. I don't know if he's just, the fact that he's 35 years old and in game 40 for him. I don't know how many games he's played. He probably doesn't have the same legs he did earlier in the season, but he just doesn't play with any energy defensively anymore. He's like a liability on that end.
And I mean, we're playing him over 30 minutes a game. And
yeah, I mean, we're not doing him any favors.
Now.
We literally played him 37 minutes tonight. I kind of get it tonight when he's shooting so well and has 32 points on 16 shots.
Yeah.
Like, I get playing him 37 minutes in a game like that, but there will be games he's struggling. Like, there was a game he was 1 for 17 or 1 for 15 a couple weeks ago, and he still played like 30 plus minutes. You can kind of tell when he has it and when he doesn't. Like, he started off hot. Like, you could tell he had it tonight in the first quarter. A lot of games you could tell he doesn't have it in the first quarter, and those games I wish we'd wouldn't play him so much. We got some energy guys that can bring some different things to the table that I'm not sure are that much worse than Melo, especially when Melo isn't hitting shots. Like, when Melo isn't hitting shots, he brings nothing to the team. You know, he doesn't bring anything. So in a game where he doesn't have it, don't burn him out. Play a guy like Little more. Play a guy, maybe even Gabriel more. Maybe, you know, Gabriel at the 4. Gabriel played the 5 tonight a lot, but just so Melo is able to stay fresh throughout the season, so he can, you know, have games like this where he plays 37 minutes and has a good game, and so that he can maybe have fresher legs on the defensive end. That's been something that I wish we've done more.
Yeah, going into tonight, he had played 41 games for the Blazers and is averaging 32 and a half minutes. You want to see that down to like below 24, I think, ideally for someone like him.
Yeah.
It would make him a lot more effective at end games, I think.
Yeah. It's not like Stotts has a lot of options.
Yeah, he doesn't have many options.
I just wish he was he just adapted a little bit more. That's been one of my things with Stotts, is just he doesn't adapt well enough, quick enough, or like as he should, in my opinion. That's one of the things, is when Melo's not having a good game in the first quarter, get him some more rest so he can be fresher throughout the season. Obviously tonight, you know, play him 36 minutes. I'm fine with that because he was absolutely going off and he was having a terrific offensive game. We needed that second scorer to step up without Dame, and Carmelo did that. He and CJ combined for 73 points on 26 for 46 shooting, so that's over 50%. They combined for 11 for 20 from the three-point line, which is 55%. Combined for 13 assists, 12 of those from CJ, one from Carmelo. But Carmelo and CJ played a combined 80 minutes, and Carmelo didn't have a turnover. CJ only had one. So in 80 minutes, they only had one turnover. So, like, those two guys kept us from, like, losing by 20 tonight. You know, if those guys weren't playing so well, if those guys were kind of having average games, we would have lost by double digits to an awful Detroit team. That's why I don't, like, really have that good of a feeling after this game, because outside of those two guys, we were awful. Like, literally, I mean, I guess Whiteside had a good game, but his defense, we're going to transition to Whiteside here. His defense, I thought, was actually pretty bad tonight. He had some great defensive plays, but there was multiple possessions where he didn't, like, rotate over to protect the rim when he should have, and he didn't really make an effort to take away lay-ins. I don't know if you saw the same thing.
Yeah, there was a play towards the end too where he just went for a rebound instead of boxing out, and he couldn't quite get it, and then Wood grabbed it and dunked it. It's like if he just put a body on Wood, he would have gotten the rebound easy. Stuff like that drives me crazy, but once again, it's hard to be critical when someone puts up the stats that he had tonight.
And I think
the other thing that bugged me too, real quick, is like we just blown that 19-point lead and we're losing to the Pistons, and he got into it and was like talking crap to I think it was V and someone else. Like, dude, like the Pistons don't even care about winning this game. Like, and you're talking crap to them after blowing that lead. That kind of stuff drives me crazy.
I don't hate that as much, because a guy like Hassan, I think he might be doing that to try to give himself more of like an edge mentally and like get himself going mentally, because he's prone to like to have mental lapses and prone to kind of fall asleep mentally. I almost wonder if him like flexing or him like getting into it is something like he does to like get like more angry or something, or more like into the game mentally so that he can play better. You know what I mean? Because some guys do that.
Yeah,
if that's the case, I don't really have that much of a problem with it, because he's trying to get himself into the game. It's not about like posturing and like, oh, I'm a big guy, badass. Like, it's more about just getting himself into the game.
See, if you're making $27 million and you have to talk shit to a team that's like basically a bunch of scrub players.
Why does the money have to do anything? I don't know. The money doesn't like come into equation there for me. You know, it's just
I'm just saying, like, if you're that good of a player, like supposedly that good of a player, you shouldn't have to like
Oh,
talk to the
if
Detroit Pistons in that
oh,
situation
if
get
he,
going,
dude,
in my opinion.
if he was better mentally, he would be a better version of Rudy Gobert. Like he would
Yeah,
be all-star caliber. You know what I mean?
yeah, and
Like
that's my
some,
point, I
yeah. You
guess.
know, he's just so big and he can shoot from mid-range. His free throw shooting's gotten better. He's a better, stronger finisher than Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is kind of finesse offensively. Like Hassan Whiteside's a better offensive player than Rudy Gobert, and he has like the same defensive qualities. He's just doesn't have the awareness that Gobert does, and he doesn't like know when to go for things, when not to go for things. It's what I talked about at the start of this stream. If he like
Hmm.
he a lot of his struggles are mental. He's freakishly big and freakishly like talented as a rim protector, and he's a solid, efficient offensive player. So like, you know, I the only thing that holds him back is like his mental edge. So if that's
Yeah.
something he's doing to like try and gain a mental edge, I have a lot less problem with it than if it's something he's doing like, oh, I just dunked on you, like, oh, look at me, if it's something like that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it does make sense.
So I try not to like get too worked up about it because I understand if it is like that, if it is about like, oh, look at me after we blew a 19-point lead to a G League team, like that's annoying as hell. I just try and look at it like, okay, I think he's trying to get himself going. So that's why I don't really comment on it. That's why I don't, maybe that's just me like
Yeah,
being optimistic and
yeah,
not, trying to find a reason just to not criticize him, I guess, but that's how I try and look at it.
it's just weird to do it at that point of the game, I guess. Like, it's one thing if you're doing it from the start of the game and that's what gets you going, like you said, but like to only talk like because he wasn't saying anything until they got down by a couple, and then he makes the basket and he starts talking like, I don't know, that just bothers
I
me.
mean, maybe he's trying to get his team going too. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
yeah,
The timing I don't think is that weird. It's when you're playing like how you should and the team's clicking and you get up by 19. Like, you don't need to do anything to like try and get yourself mentally in the game. It's when like you're struggling, when the mood of the team is changing because we're giving up a huge run to the other team. Like, I feel like the timing actually makes a little bit more sense than you do. That's just an interesting topic to talk about.
hmm
But he had a solid game. But other than that, man, other than that, you had Trevor Ariza 1 for 4, 2 points, 4 rebounds. Like he had
How
some
many
good.
turnovers did he have?
He had
He
five
had
turnovers. This
yeah, he
is
had a
the
stretch where he just kept throwing the ball away.
this is the Trevor Ariza that the Sacramento Kings fans couldn't stand. You know, Sacramento Kings were like, oh, thank God we got rid of Trevor Ariza. And Trevor Ariza killed it at the start for us. And we're like, why did these guys hate Trevor Ariza? Funnily enough, Ken Bazemore in his last 3 games is shooting like 50% from the field, 50% from three, and averaging 19 a game for the Kings. And Trevor Ariza has kind of struggled the past couple of games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't supposed to be a huge upgrade. And it looked like a huge upgrade right after we got Ariza. And I still think it is a bit of an upgrade. Bazemore's not going to keep that up, but
Ariza made some huge defensive plays
Yeah.
down the stretch. He had the steal where he missed the lay-in, and then the next play he stripped the ball again. So he had a couple of key plays in this game. But yeah, offensively he has not been good. I I think he's much better playing with a guy like Dame, because he has to almost become a scorer in this offense when. Because if like Damon or if CJ and Melo weren't hitting so many shots, like Trevor would have had to pick up the offense more, and that's not really his game. He's more of like a catch and shoot type guy or like a secondary option, not like thrust into having to score.
Yeah. Ariza probably gets better shots when Dame's on the floor too, because
Yeah,
he's like the fifth option there instead of the fourth. I don't know. And everything runs more smoothly with Dame. The offense has more rhythm. But I don't think the offense has been a problem. We came out super hot that first quarter, and then we struggled the rest of the game. But the offense has been fine lately. Like, I'm not really focused on the offense anymore.
Well, it wasn't great after the first quarter, but you know what we did in the first quarter?
What? Move the ball.
We got out and ran in
That
transition.
too.
We had a ton of transition points.
And CJ
We
made
didn't.
some nice passes, some skip
Yep.
passes. We moved the ball. Honestly, I didn't really have a problem with like the second, third quarters. We had some bad turnovers, but it was almost like we were trying to make the extra pass that wasn't there. And given how we were earlier this season, like I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? When you try and move the ball well, you're gonna go through some stages where you try and make the extra pass and it's not there and you end up turning it over. You know, that's kind of like the bumps in the road, but it's like the road you need to take to become a better team. You need to be able to move the ball well, and sometimes that's going to backfire as you get better at it and figure it out. You know what I mean? But I feel like the effort to move the ball and like into the offense quicker and play with more flow, so to say, I feel like the effort to do those things has been a lot better in the past month and a half. And even without Dame, I feel like that effort is better. I feel like the team really tried to move the ball tonight. They got into some trouble with some turnovers on some bad passes, but it was like at least they're trying to move the ball instead of just playing one-on-one every single possession.
Yeah, the second unit really struggled tonight, and I'm sorry, Amari Hazonia. I know you're in chat, but did you do anything tonight?
um his first, Mario's first game back, and he
I know, I'm
barely
just teasing.
played, didn't get a rhythm. Played 12 minutes. I honestly thought he played half that because he had one assist and no other stat. But honestly, with Mario Hazonia, if you don't notice him that much on the court, that's probably a good thing. Just because he does make a lot of mistakes. So if he can just kind of just be invisible out there, that's probably a
But
good thing.
but I thought that was such a weird lineup with Simons. Who who was the other guard in there? It was Melo, Wenyan, Hazonia, Simons, and gosh, who else was playing in that lineup? It wasn't CJ or Trent. I don't know. I'm trying to think of who was in the game in the beginning of the second quarter.
CJ was out. Yeah, you had Trent, Simons, Ariza
Well,
was in, I think.
well,
Gabriel and
Trent
Mello, I believe.
Trent played pretty much the whole first quarter, so he was out at the beginning of the second quarter
Was
too.
he?
Um,
I'm
I'll
not.
look.
I'm not. I don't think he was because I think he got subbed. I thought he got subbed out. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, the bench unit struggled. They got outscored like something like 60-10. Uh,
I'm looking it up.
all right. Um, Simon's plus minus was approaching -30. Yeah, Simon struggled tonight, but he's been playing well. You know what I mean? I expect a mixed bag. The problem is he started off really hot, had a stretch of good games back to back to back, and then
Oh,
he
yeah,
went
it
through
was
a massive
little.
slump. Little, okay.
It,
Anime Jake
yeah,
beat us to that. Yep.
yeah, thanks. So yeah, it was Simons, Little, Gabriel, Mello, and Hazonia. That's like such a weird lineup. I know, like once again, Stas doesn't have a lot of options right now, so I'm trying not to be too hard on him on that kind of stuff. But like, I just was thinking, like, wow, this is like the weirdest mix of players ever,
Yeah.
and no center, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry, I was being DM'd questions. Dude won't come into my stream to ask me questions. He'll just DM me. But yeah, I mean, Simon, what was the stat? It was like 10 games before the All-Star break. Simon shot 50% from the field and 50% from three. Like, that's what we wanted to see out of Simons. He had a big game before the All-Star break, and then he was decent against the Pelicans, right? If I recall correctly, like he was solid, like hit some shots. It wasn't too bad, and then tonight he was bad, So, given that good stretch, I just want him to make it more of a mixed bag, so to say. I'd love for him to play great consistently, but with Simons, it's like just don't go on bad stretches for too long. Just I want to see some good performances. There are going to be bad performances. I don't want to overreact because people tend to overreact to him, like, oh, this guy, look at how bad he's playing tonight. Like, some people just pointed out like, oh, Simons is struggling tonight, and I'll be like, yeah, he is struggling. But some people are like, oh, this guy will never be what people expected of him. Like, he's never gonna amount to much. Look how he's playing tonight. He's so bad. Like, blah blah blah. And it's like they disregard the fact that he had been going off 10 games prior to the All-Star break, and they literally just like overreact to this one game. These games are gonna happen. You gotta take the good with the bad. You just hope that there's enough good to justify him playing 20 minutes per game for a playoff team this year. We don't have other options, but like we got to figure out like, okay, if we're trying to contend next year, can this guy be that third guard, or do we need to upgrade that position in order to contend next year?
Simon was just 2 for 12 in the Pelicans game. So
okay, he had 2 bad games in a row. 2 bad games in a row. But he had a good stretch before All-Star break, so
yeah.
Just don't. We just can't overreact to too many games. Simons is a better player at 20 years old than Damian Lillard was. That is what I always think of. Think of Damian Lillard at 20 years old, a sophomore at Weber State, getting what, 12 points per game or 13 points per game. I don't remember how much he was scoring. Maybe it was like 17. I don't know. But he was at Weber State. Like, he wasn't looked at as a future NBA player at that point. He definitely wouldn't be as good as Simons in the NBA when Dame was a sophomore. So that's the thing. Look at Dame's evolution. Obviously, Dame is a very special player, very special person, insanely hard worker, but I think Simons is probably a pretty hard worker as well. Doesn't seem like the type to be like doing a whole lot in the off season. Seems like the type that would be in the gym really working on his game. So, given how much Dame improved from 20 to 28, I hate when people were like, "Oh, well, Simons will never be an all-star caliber player or anything." Like, it's not likely, but you can't roll out anything with this kid, and you just got to be patient with him.
Dame's sophomore year, he averaged 19.9 points per game. I mean, it's still at Weber State, but
yeah.
So he was pretty good. He just got hurt the next year and then came back strong his senior year. But
yeah.
But yeah, I agree. If he was in the NBA that season, he wouldn't have done anything probably.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, that's the thing. He would have. I don't know. I hope that Simons by what, 23? I don't know. How old was Dame when he was a rookie? Dame was 22. 22 as a rookie. I hope that Simons when he's 22 is averaging 19 and 6 like Dame did his rookie year. Like, that's an insane. Like, Dame improved so much from his sophomore year to his sophomore year in college to his rookie year in the NBA. Obviously, like, it's going to be very hard for Simons to show that level of improvement. I'm not going to rule anything out. Like, people need to remember the kid's 20. The kid's 20. This is his first like season playing consistent minutes on a level higher than IMG Academy, a level higher than high school. His first season playing consistent minutes on a level higher of high school. And the fact that he is having good games, the fact that he can have a 10-game stretch where he shoots 50% from the field, 50% from three, playing 20 minutes per game as a 20-year-old in that situation, that's super encouraging. You know what I mean? Like, people just need to take the good with the bad. Enjoy watching him play. And root for the kid, and don't make any lasting assumptions about what he's going to turn into.
And so Stotts had been kind of limiting him in the rotation a little bit.
Yeah.
He had started to give him the hook a little earlier than he was prior to that, but then injuries happen again, and we don't really have. Like, if Dame was playing right now, I don't know if Simons is getting a lot of minutes with the way Trent's playing. You probably let him shoot a little bit, see if he's on or not. If not, maybe not bring him back in the second half, or if you do, only for a couple minutes to give someone a break real quick. But yeah, right now it's just like, I mean, who are we supposed to play at backup guard right now?
Yeah.
Like, if Trent and CJ are starting, literally Simons is the only other guard we have on the roster.
Yeah,
so.
And I don't think that minus 21 was like, because Simons was a minus 21 tonight, the worst on the team in his 18 minutes. But I don't think that was entirely Simons' fault. That's the thing with plus minus is it's reflective of how the team does when that player is on the court. That player only makes up a fifth of the team. so other guys can struggle around him and then play better when Simons isn't on the floor and make that up with their plus minus, but Simons is left with a negative whatever. That's why you can't look at plus minus in isolation like that. Over the course of a season, it's more valid since you have a larger sample size. But in like one game like this is plus minus. It can be reflective of a player playing bad, but like you just gotta look at like how the player played. That's the eye test thing. You just gotta look at how the player played, not just the plus minus number, that type of thing.
I don't think he played well at all.
He didn't play well. Yeah. He definitely contributed to it, but it wasn't like entirely him being his fault. You know what I mean? Like, because he was in there with the bench lineup. He was in there without CJ in the game during the first half, which hurt us. And then CJ played the entire second half, which is crazy. But that's the thing. Like he's subbing in for the best player on the team. He's automatically at a disadvantage in terms of his plus minus. And the thing is, also another point, I think the Pistons bench lineup had maybe more talent on it, or just was more cohesive. It was just a better lineup than the Pistons starters.
Their lineup is kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know why they're not starting, because Brown's been playing good lately.
Brown's super underrated, honestly.
Wood's been playing good lately, and those guys, they're coming off the bench versus.
Bro, I'm telling you, Christian
starting Thon Maker over Christian Wood, like.
I'm telling you, Christian Wood would be a solid pickup, man. I know you don't want to go after a power forward or a center, but you got that size and that shooting ability and that rim protection ability and that perimeter defense ability, because like Christian Wood can slide his feet. You're talking about Christian Wood behind Zach Collins. That would be like, Christian Wood's a really good scorer off the bench, guys. I've talked about him in the past. He's efficient. He can protect the rim. He got 2 blocks tonight in 31 minutes. 9 rebounds. He's a solid rebounder. Like he's a good player. He had 2 threes. Like he's a good player, and he's a guy the Pistons got for a minimum contract. That I wish we could have gotten him instead of Hazonia or Tolliver. That's kind of goes. That shows my point of Olshey not being good at working around the edges of the roster. But yeah, I mean, like Christian Wood's the second best player on this team by far.
Do you want to know his stats since the Drummond trade?
Yeah.
6 games, 20.7 points, 10.5 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.2 blocks, 53% from field goal, 39% from 3, 81% free throw.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling, like he's legitimately really, really good. Like I don't know why he doesn't play more. I assume Detroit's going to try and bring him back, man, because like I look at an Andre Drummond, and then I look at a Christian Wood, and I don't know, Andre Drummond is that much better than Christian Wood. Andre Drummond is known to be really good, and Christian Wood isn't that known. You know what I mean? They're kind of on opposite ends of the spectrum, where Andre Drummond's like, oh, Andre Drummond, he's an all-star caliber big. Christian Wood, who's that? He's a guy making a minimum contract who hasn't really done much before this season. But like Christian Wood playing starters minutes without Andre Drummond, 20 and 10 and decent defense and efficiency and floor spacing. Meanwhile, you got Andre Drummond, who can't shoot, is honestly not that efficient inside the arc this year, chases rebounds, chases blocks. Like, I'm not sure Christian Wood's that much worse than Andre Drummond.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say is players like Drummond and I guess like Whiteside and Nurk can kind of be in this category too. There's just something about like a center who's a little bulkier but is also kind of mobile. Like it gives him Wood, even though he gets some blocks, he's never gonna be like the type of guy who just shuts down the paint completely, you know. Whereas like a Drummond can do that occasionally if he's used the right way, or like intimidate people from going in the paint. Whiteside's done that a little bit this year, but yeah, he's a good player.
I mean, I'd love to complete that front court with, 2 power forwards. Zach Collins, Christian Wood can shoot the 3, can guard the 4 or the 5, can protect the rim, can slide over to center, can can do some things offensively, and then having 2 rim protectors, and that's a lot of size in the front court. That's a lot of depth. Like, if one of the centers gets hurt, Collins can play some backup center as well, give Christian Wood more minutes. Like, we've seen this year, we get one front court player hurt and we were screwed. I don't know. I think that's a good, realistic mid-level exception target for us. And the thing is, Olshey always seems to acquire a guy that people are like, what? Like, that position, that guy, like, that surprises people. I think that could be a guy.
Yeah, so Jake says, I think Detroit pays him handsomely. They do not have full bird rights on him, so they can only offer him around $10 million, which is pretty close to the mid-level exception.
Which is what we could offer him. So if he wants to come win,
it might end up being so the early bird rights, you can sign someone to, it's like 105% of the average salary, which
isn't the mid-level exception the average salary?
It's pretty close, yeah. So it's just slightly better than that. And we were trying to figure this out earlier in the year with before Hood got hurt, so we knew how much we could pay Hood next year. But yeah, it's right around 10 million, I think. A little of that has to do with how much, what the exact number of the salary cap ends up being.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I could see the Knicks going out and paying him $15 million a year. They paid Bobby Portis. Like, the Knicks need some young talent.
But to me, he's just like Mitchell Robinson. Is only he's a better shooter. But like,
Christian Wood's just like Mitchell Robinson.
Like body type and
I don't think they would play anything similar. Or like I don't know. Like Christian.
If you take away outside shooting, I think they're pretty close.
I mean, like, Mitchell Robinson's a better rim protector. Christian Wood's a lot more skilled, I think, because Christian Wood can handle the ball a little bit for a big man. And honestly, like, a guy with that shooting touch that can handle the ball a little bit, usually those types of bigs can be developed into good passers. That's another reason why I wouldn't hate, that pickup, is I think the one thing Stotts has been able to do is develop passing big men. Okay, so there's a credit to Stotts for you guys. I think Christian Wood could be a good passing big man. Like, I think that guy has the potential to be a fringe all-star level player. And we saw it tonight. He played like a fringe all-star level player. He had a great game for them tonight.
See, my issue with Wood is based on the Blazers not trading Whiteside. I almost feel like they have to retain him to not lose him for nothing.
Yeah.
And wasting that asset. So if you consider re-signing Whiteside, and then our full mid-level exception is basically our only outside of draft picks, obviously, like hitting a home run on a draft pick or something. But other than that, the mid-level exception is basically the only chance we have to add another quality wing. So it would just be weird to use it on him if we had both Whiteside, Nurkic, and Collins all on the team next year, because that doesn't leave a whole lot of minutes for him, even if he is the best fit for that mid-level exception.
Yeah. I'm sending out a tweet right now. So if you want to bring up a different topic, I mean, like, other guys on their bench, Brandon Knight played good. Bruce Brown is a really good defender. What do you think about, like, those other pieces they had tonight?
Bruce Brown's like, I don't know what it is, but I know going to the All-Star break, he had like 3 or 4 games with 10+ rebounds.
He is. This is my comparison. He is a poor man's Marcus Smart, in my opinion. Just like looking at him statistically and the type of player he is, a guy that goes out there and gets rebounds, kind of struggles with his shooting efficiency, isn't an efficient player, but like does the little things, plays hard, plays defense, rebounds, can make a little bit. He's an underrated playmaker too. He can make plays for others, kind of tweener guard type of player. Like, he is a poor man's Marcus Smart.
Yeah, the last 3 games going to this one, 12, 10, and 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
For he's not that big either, but 6'4"-ish.
I'm kind of calling out something on Twitter.
I'll have
because I'm
to
feeling
look.
feisty. So I'm going to tweet it out in 10 seconds, 15 seconds. If you guys don't follow us on Twitter, the channel is at Blazers Uprise. I'm at Tori Jones YT. Eric's at HoopsJock. Can also buy some merch. We just published merch. You guys should really check that out, man. Like, I'm wearing one right now. These sweatshirts are really nice. They're for a good price. I think they look awesome. So if you want to support us and also like rep us and get just a nice sweatshirt or a nice shirt, we're selling shirts. We're selling bottles too. You can see one up there, like those little water bottle type things. That's one up there behind me. And we're selling posters too, Dame posters. You guys should check it out. The link is in the description below. But I gotta finish up this tweet because
I'm eagerly awaiting
I'm
this.
feeling feisty. I'll even drop a curse word in there and everything.
Not,
I don't even care.
not cool, Randall Pink Floyd. Not cool.
What did he say?
He says, I refuse to follow you guys. Thanks a lot.
Wow, that hurts, bro.
I'd follow you, man.
That hurts. I do tweet about the game a lot, so if you don't want your inbox being spammed, I get it. But my tweets are on point at the same time. All right, there we go. Tweeting that out. It'll be obvious who it's a shot towards, too. You guys can probably already guess without looking at the tweet. Who do you think it was a shot towards? What's your guess, Eric? Who'd I just fire a shot towards? You probably just read it, didn't you?
Yeah, sorry, I'm reading it.
They don't. You know how it goes. Not at Terry Stotts. It's a member of the community. I can't stand that Twitter page, man. I would follow you guys, but my IP address is suspended from Twitter. I'm a wild boy. Chad. Me? No. Why would I toss a shot at you, man? Nurk is going to return this season 100%. Yeah, he'll return in March sometime. Pinwheel Empire. Yes, sir. No, man. Like, I just saw a tweet, just them bitching about fans again. And it's like, if you are a Blazers fan page that you label yourself the voice of the fans, but you're constantly bitching about fans, you're probably in the wrong lane. Like, am I right? You know?
This seems a little ironic.
It's weird, man. So that's why I tweeted out. Already that's why I was teasing you guys. I knew I'd get like instantly 7 likes. Randall Pink Floyd, you already followed me, bro. Yeah, but no, the bench lineup for Detroit, we'll get back in this game. The bench lineup for Detroit was better than their starters. And obviously the Blazers bench is worse, especially when you have CJ McCollum off the court, so that kind of contributes to that plus minus, you know. I don't know. I just don't like using that just based off of one game. I try and, determine how a player plays, just watching them, just, other stats. Simon's, 2 for 8, 2 for 5 from the 3-point line, had a turnover, only 1 assist, no rebounds. Like, he didn't play well, obviously. That was a bad game for him, but I'm hoping he can get it more consistent and play more consistently. Who do you think was our 4th best player tonight? Because CJ, Carmelo, Whiteside are top 3. It's kind of hard to figure out who our 4th best player was.
Yikes.
Who do you think was our 4th best player tonight, chat?
That is a good question.
Just like how well they played when they were in the game, so not like, it's not minutes based. Ariza, defense late. I'm going to go out on a limb with mine.
Wenyen?
I'm going to go with Wenyen. I think Wenyen was our 4th best player tonight. He
had some
hustled.
big offensive rebounds.
Had a couple offensive rebounds, couple good defensive rebounds in 13 minutes. He had 4 rebounds. That's solid for, that's like 10 rebounds in 36 minutes. Played, backup center and was really the only like productive bench player on the court because Little didn't really do anything. Why is Little only playing 7 minutes and Mario's playing 12? I know Little didn't play well, but like we're back to this crap. Mario didn't do a single thing. Like, I'm going to get frustrated if this is the case in multiple games. But yeah, Wenyen played very well, man. Me and Eric know a couple people that love to hate on fringe roster players and just completely trashes Wenyen. Like, he doesn't belong to be on the court. You think he's average. You're delusional type of people. I think Gabriel's an average defender, which is good for a guy who's an undrafted rookie. Like, he has length, he has quickness, he seems to have good defensive instincts. Like, he could be a good defender at some point in his career. Like, I like him defensively. Right now, undrafted rookie who's barely played in the NBA, he's an average defender, which is a good thing given his experience. And then offensively, man, I like him because he doesn't really force too much. He doesn't, like, he'll shoot an open three if it's there. He'll, he'll get some putbacks. That was kind of his offense tonight. But I just like the way he plays because he doesn't force things. He hustles on defense. He plays defense. He gets boards and brings energy. And a lot of times we need somebody to bring energy with the second unit. Because that's the thing. If you're not that talented as a second unit, you got to bring energy, go get garbage buckets, go get putbacks, play some defense, and just kind of like junk up the game a little bit and have your energy play a factor. And that's what I think like kind of kept them afloat. The bench definitely struggled, but at least you had a guy like there in Wenyen who brought some energy, because it could have been worse.
Yeah, I mean, we really need he's kind of a positionless guy, because he's so lanky. I don't really call him like a center or power forward or anything. Like, he's probably at best a small forward, but like we need a guy who's like I'll just put this in quotations, a big that can come in and just get after it on defense. And we don't really have a lot of that since Collins went down. So yeah, like if he can just form a nice little niche role like that, that's all you can ask for a guy that's an undrafted rookie, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Anime Jake misses Scout, man. I miss Scout too. Is he playing for Atlanta yet, or is he still out?
Scout's still out.
Yeah, we'll see when he comes back. Ariza qualifies as well. Yeah, Ariza had 5 turnovers though, Jake.
I was talking about someone off the bench, like just a defender.
Oh, I know he said.
Like
I know he said
the young guys.
Oh, gotcha. I know he said Ariza was our 4th best. Like, he had some good defensive possessions, but had some turnovers, which they were turnover. There's I don't know how to put this, but like, there's something like there's different quality of turnovers, so to say. There's a turnover where you're trying to make the extra pass and it gets tipped or something. That's better than a turnover where you're going one-on-one trying to shake a guy and like he like picks your pocket. And it's not even because of what the result might be down on the other end. It's like, I'd rather have turnovers where we're trying to move the ball, where we're trying to make the extra pass, compared to like, trying to shake a guy, play isolation and turning it over. Just because, if we're trying to move the ball and, we have some problems. I kind of went on this earlier. If we're trying to move the ball, then it will probably result in better things down the stretch compared to just playing out of isolation. So Ariza did have 5 turnovers, but they weren't, a lot of them were him trying to make the extra pass. So they weren't like bad turnovers in my mind. Like, obviously they were bad, but it wasn't like, compared to the average turnover, it wasn't a bad turnover, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, it was frustrating because he had like 2 or 3 in a time when we couldn't do anything on offense. It was just magnifying our problems. But yeah, we had 40 points in the first quarter and 40 the next 2 quarters.
Yeah. I mean, just a typical game. So, we will have a great offensive quarter and then kind of struggle a little bit and then pull it out against a bad team. Like, that's the typical game against teams like this, I feel like, where it doesn't matter if we get up 20 against a horrible team, we're somehow going to give that lead up. Like, I don't know why, man. It's just such a mental thing for this team. So let's look around the NBA. I'm going to look at the scores because there were some good games tonight. You had the Lakers barely beating the Celtics by 2. LeBron hit a clutch jumper late. He had 29. Gonna look at the box score for this one. Jason Tatum had 41. He's been playing great. Jason Tatum's defense this year has also been something that I feel like hasn't gotten enough attention. He's really turned into a really good defender that can guard multiple positions, and if he can have more performances like he did tonight, where he had 41 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 41 points on 20 shots. That's the other thing. 41 points on 20 shots. It was efficient. If he can do that combined with his defense, like, he's going to reach that like top 15 tier, in my opinion, in the next couple years.
Love Tatum. Never doubted him.
Yep. I said before that draft, he's the best player in this draft. I said, like, he would be perfect for us, man.
I'm pretty sure you're. Wouldn't say you lost faith in him, but earlier in the year you had mentioned something that he had been disappointing or something.
He just hadn't been as efficient. And, like, I was kind of looking at his defense, like, okay, he has some good defensive numbers. He's played some good defensive games. It was, like, a small sample size, so I didn't know if that was going to last. It's lasted. So, like, now I believe in him as a defender, and his offense has kind of gotten back to him playing a more efficient brand of basketball. And helping the team offensively. Like, his efficiency earlier in the season was awful. So that's kind of why I was disappointed. It's like, this guy was labeled as a guy who can score at all 3 levels coming into the league, can be kind of a go-to guy, and he was really kind of struggling in that secondary role behind Kemba offensively, and now he's starting to strive, and now I believe in him as a lockdown defender. So, I didn't lose faith in him. I was just a little bit disappointed just because I expected more. I expected him to play more like this, and now he's killing it. So he definitely all-star caliber player. Made the all-star game this year. Would be perfect for us, the perfect small forward or power forward, because this year he's playing power forward. That's what sucks about Boston. We need one of their 3 small forwards. Like, they have 3 like small forward type of players that start for them that would be like really good fits for us at small forward. You got Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum. It's like, I just want one of those guys. They got 3 of them, you know?
Thanks, Brooklyn.
God, man. Grant Williams today, Jake, had 4 points on 1 for 2 shooting in 13 minutes. Also had 5 fouls in 13 minutes. That's a yikes from me. For the Lakers, you had AD with 32 to complement LeBron's 29. I guess LeBron would be complimenting him. Kuzma was 16 off the bench. Dwight Howard with 10. They said they're going to play Kuzma more at small forward with Markieff Morris now. I don't think that's a good idea. I think Kuzma's worse at small forward. I think he's better at power forward. Just because he has more of a quickness advantage. Like, he's not that good of a shooter, but he has like a quickness advantage. He doesn't really play inside a ton from what I've seen. Maybe it's just when he plays against us, but he's a perimeter-based power forward. The problem is when you move those guys down to small forward, they don't have that quickness advantage or like the advantage with their ball handling, that type of thing. So it's harder for them to create from the perimeter. And you have 2 bigger guys to play more inside. You know, it's harder for them to go inside and take advantage of that mismatch. And Kuzma isn't really that type of player anyway. So I don't think playing him at small forward is a good decision.
Yeah, I don't know. Kuzma's one of those guys that drives me crazy watching him play.
Laker fans thinking that he's better than Tatum. Yeah, no, he's not. Tatum's so much better than him. I've never been that high on Kuzma. I thought he got too much hype the summer league before his rookie year, and then his rookie year just because he was a Laker. Like, if he wasn't a Laker, he wouldn't be. He would just be another player. I feel like just another solid role player, okay-ish starter. But you had a bunch of people saying he's a future All-Star.
People's mix. Kuz's a superstar. AD is in his way. Yeah, right. So, but yeah, I feel like if he was on Portland, like, everyone's like, oh, we should have taken him, which might be true given who we actually took. But
I mean, over Caleb Swanigan, yeah, I mean.
But I feel like if he was on Portland, no one would ever like think he was good, because if he put up the exact stats on Portland, like, everyone would be like, oh, this guy's a scrub.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Hart was a guy available there. Dylan Brooks was a guy available there. You know, you had some solid players that we could have drafted at 26, and we elected for Caleb Swanigan, which I hated that pick from the start. When Caleb Swanigan got drafted, I was like, hell no. Like, I was more mad at that pick than any other pick of my life. Like, I was mad at the Trent pick. I was wrong about that, okay? I'll admit that. I was wrong, okay? You guys better, like, clip this, save this, whatever. You know, me admitting I'm wrong. because I'm not. I'm right a lot of the time. But I was wrong about Trent, man. I was dead wrong about Trent. Now I'm on the Trent train, and I can admit when I'm wrong. It's better than a lot of people. So I was wrong about Trent, but I was 100% right about Caleb Swanigan. I was pissed when we drafted him. Just like, it was obvious to me, like, undersized big man who is very slow, not athletic. His form wasn't going to stretch out to the 3-point line, and he wasn't going to be a good 3-point shooter. Was going to struggle on defense because he's either undersized center or really slow power forward with the way the NBA is trending. Like, I just didn't understand what Olshey saw in that, man. I don't understand. Like, that's the most inexplicable pick he's ever made. Especially given that was a deep draft. There was a lot of talent available there at the 26th pick.
In my opinion, what happened was we had just come off the sweep against Golden State, right? And we basically had Ed Davis and Nurkic hurt. So, like, our big situation was really bad, and we ended up not keeping Ed Davis. Was that the year we didn't? No, we kept Ed Davis for one more year. But I felt like he took Collins and then just wanted to get someone, because Collins was more of a project. So I think he just wanted someone who could come in and play right away, and someone who was a project, but he wanted to just fill the depth through the draft because we didn't really have any. I don't think we used our mid-level exception at all that year. So I think he was just trying to beef up the the big situation, with thinking that he could come in and play right away over some of those other players that were drafted behind him. But yeah,
I just feel like you don't draft somebody at that point in the draft to, like, come in and play right away. You know what I mean? Because, like, yes, there are some players that can, but even the players that seem like, okay, this guy can come in and play right away, a lot of times they can't. You know what I mean? So I'd rather just go for the guy that has more long-term potential. You know what I mean? And more of a chance long-term. So I still don't understand it from that perspective.
Yeah, I was actually more mad about the Collins pick than the Swanigan pick. Yeah. Because I wanted Donovan Mitchell, but that's another story.
But who knows? Yeah. Honestly, here's the...
I know.
Yeah, here's the thing with that, because people are like, oh, we could add Donovan Mitchell, and he's an all-star. But if we drafted Donovan Mitchell, he'd likely be our third guard right now. He wouldn't be the player he is. He wouldn't be the player he is today. He'd probably be a solid third guard, and that's probably it. Because he came in and was given the reins and was given 35 minutes per game on a team that complemented him perfectly. Had some shooting, had players that defend. He got put in literally the absolute perfect position. Obviously, he was a good prospect, talented player, but when you're coming to the NBA, I feel like the position you're put in off the bat does matter for your development, and I feel like he's put in the perfect position, had some talent, and that's how he's blossomed into an all-star. I feel like if he got put in Portland, he'd be the third guard. Maybe he wouldn't have gotten many minutes his rookie year, knowing how Stotts plays rookies. It might have been a Collins-type situation, and then who knows, that changes the trajectory for his whole career.
See, going into that, he hadn't really shown a ton offensively, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So I kind of thought of him as like the defensive version of CJ, if that makes sense. So you'd have CJ, who is really good at offense but sucks at defense, and then you'd have a good defender who is okay at offense. But yeah, he's really turned into a really good offensive player. Yeah. But yeah, who knows if that happens here. Yeah. But worst case scenario, if he does show anything, like, I don't know, I can see it both ways. I can see him not getting an opportunity, so like no one would know he's that good, and then his confidence kind of goes down and all that stuff, whereas being the man right away in Utah really helped him out. But if you're like a really great player, maybe he was so good that we could trade someone.
Stotts isn't cutting CJ's minutes for a young guard, and Olshey isn't trading CJ. Yeah. So like right now, I think Mitchell would be averaging 25 minutes per game and getting like maybe he'd probably be a sixth man of the year candidate, but he wouldn't be like an all-star, and he wouldn't be viewed as the same guy. We're talking about Donovan Mitchell. Like, what if we drafted Donovan Mitchell at 10?
But like I don't know if it was another guy that he drafted, because CJ was the 10th pick. So if he drafted another guard that was just as good as CJ with the 10th pick, then maybe he would move one of those two and wouldn't hold on to both of them, and maybe that would help him change his mind.
I doubt it, man. He's
Who knows?
so in love.
I mean,
with
it's all
CJ.
hypothetical.
I mean, he should have just drafted Giannis instead of CJ, and then drafted Donovan Mitchell, and drafted like Jokic when the year Jokic was drafted. You know, he was drafted with like the 41st pick, so we should have drafted Jokic as well. We should have like Jokic, Giannis, Donovan Mitchell. Like, you know, gotta love the hindsight bias. Like, oh my God, we didn't draft this guy.
I mean, this isn't. I'm just telling you why I didn't like the Collins pick.
No, I'm not making fun of you.
Bias.
I'm making because you at the time like wanted him. You know what I mean? So that's not hindsight bias, because you at the time wanted him. You liked him as a prospect. I liked him too. I was really high on him. I would have drafted him for sure, because I thought like a two-way guard has like the strength and the wingspan to effectively guard shooting guards as well. Like, you know, a two-way player that can score offensively, create a little bit, and can guard both guard positions is like the perfect third guard for the Blazers, in my opinion, because when one of Dame and CJ is off the court, Donovan Mitchell will be on the court, and he's a great fit next to both those players, just because of what he can bring defensively and as a secondary scorer to one of those guys. You know, he and CJ, neither would be secondary. They're kind of equal. You know, Mitchell's more efficient, so Mitchell's a better scorer now. I'm just saying, like, the fit would have been good. That's why I was high on Donovan Mitchell. It's like we could completely take care of our guards and just focus on our forwards. You know, we had Nurkic at the time, like, focus on our forwards, maybe get a backup center. You know, so I was high on Donovan Mitchell too, but I didn't hate the Collins pick. I'm a Gonzaga fan. I didn't hate the Collins pick. The fans that should be really mad are Nuggets fans, because Mitchell would have been a perfect, absolutely perfect fit next to Jamal Murray, I think, and with Jokic. Because imagine Jokic throwing lobs to Donovan Mitchell. Like, Donovan Mitchell's a lob catcher for a guard, and with the way they run their offense, imagine like. Mitchell's a threat as a cutter and a lob catcher. He would have played really well off of Jokic, and then his defense, his size, just kind of like a style of play I think complements Jamal Murray really well. And the Nuggets would be like actually looked at as like legit contenders if they had Donovan Mitchell instead of like Gary Harris or somebody instead of.
But
you know.
But the Nuggets got Tyler Lydon and Trey Lyles.
Yeah.
That's literally who they got.
I know, yeah. Tyler Lydon and Trey Lyles is who they got for Donovan Mitchell. So Nuggets fans having this conversation, that's rough, man. Rough.
I'd rather have Caleb Swanigan than Lydon.
I mean, Lydon isn't even in the league anymore, and Trey Lyles is just an average, mediocre role player for the Spurs. He's kind of having a bit of a bounce back year, but yeah, he's not on the Nuggets anymore. That is the one mistake the Nuggets have made, because they've made a lot of good draft choices, a lot of good moves, but giving away Donovan Mitchell, and even at the time it was like, what are they doing? Like, they could have made it look better and drafted somebody good at 24, but they drafted Lydon, who I was like kind of into as a prospect going into that draft, but yeah.
I wasn't.
Yeah, he was an interesting player. I just thought if he got
one of the
in
worst
better
trades
shape,
the last 5 years.
Yeah. I just thought if Lydon got in better shape, he could be a good player, because he could kind of shoot, was athletic, you know.
Yeah, I didn't like his game.
Yeah.
Chiefin says Donovan Mitchell gets cooked defensively. What I was talking about is coming out of college, he was like thought of as
I think he's
kind of a lockdown perimeter defender.
Yeah.
I don't
what
think
he was advertised to be, but maybe that's because he's put so much effort in on the offensive end, carrying the scoring load for them. You know, if he was like a role player offensively, like it was thought of, he might be a lockdown defender, since that would be his main focus. That would be where he expends a lot of his energy.
It's also so hard for a perimeter guard to be a good lockdown defender anymore. I mean, there are some, but like the rules are just made so it's almost like you have to have good team defenders that make you be able to be a good defender too, which he does, obviously, with Gobert back there. But
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Jazz are going to be a tough out in the playoffs. Playoffs are going to be fun for the Western Conference. You know, maybe not for Blazer fans. We'll see. Let me look at the standings. Actually, yeah, I'll look at the standings. Then I'll finish around the NBA. I'll bring up some of the scores and whatnot. Because there's a random player I want to get to with a prediction. So the Nuggets are 5 games back of the Lakers. It looks like the Lakers are probably pretty guaranteed to get that 1 seed. So that's who we'd be facing off against. We're 8.5 back of Dallas at 7. So that's that's looking pretty much out of the picture. But you got Nuggets in second. You got the Clippers in third, 1.5 games behind the second place Nuggets. You got Houston and Utah tied for fourth. They're 2.5 games behind second. OKC's only four games behind second. They're sixth. Dallas is seventh. They're 5 games behind second. So you kind of got a bit of a logjam there. It'll be interesting to see that race play out. Then Memphis, of course, is 15, or they're 28 and 28. They're 3 games ahead of us, but they're not really in the picture to make a run at those top 7 seeds. So we are a half game ahead of New Orleans, who has a tiebreaker with us. We're equal in the loss column. They have just as an easy. They have a schedule that's just as easy as ours. So honestly, I think that's who I predict to make the 8th seed is the Pelicans at this point. Just because they're playing better than us, they have the tiebreaker equal to us in the loss column. Similar schedule. Is that your prediction?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to disagree with that. I still think if Portland's healthy, they can get it, but yeah, it's going to depend on how soon.
Still don't trust our defense, man.
Yeah.
I just don't trust our defense to get the job done down the stretch. There's nothing that says to me otherwise. I'm just being honest, guys. Like, obviously, I don't know. I'm trying not to be biased. I always try and call things like they are. It goes back to picks against the spread on Friday when we were picking for the Blazers-Pelicans game. The Pelicans were favored by 4.5 points. Chat picked Blazers. Eric picked Blazers. I'm not trying to give you crap or anything. I've just said Eric and Chat picked Blazers. I picked Pelicans, and I was just saying I can't trust the Blazers right now. And then the Pelicans went and whooped our asses, And going into this game, we barely beat an awful Detroit Pistons team. We don't know if Dame's going to come back in the next couple of games. It might be another 4 games that he's out. And we've shown that we can lose to anybody without Dame. Like, I don't trust this team to, easily take care of any game, no matter who we play. I don't even know who we play. Who do we play next?
Boston on Tuesday.
Yeah, that is a game that we are very, very likely to lose. And then after that, we play the Pacers on the road. Probably won't have Dame for that game. It's another game we're probably going to lose. You know what I mean? Like, I don't trust this team. I don't trust this team to get it done and get that 8th seed, honestly. Obviously they're healthier than us, like the People's Mix says. I mean, they're just in a better position. They're playing better basketball. They're healthier. They have the better coach, too. Alvin Gentry. Believe it or not. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I hope that we can improve our D and overcome it and maybe make some noise in the first round. But I just don't trust it. I just don't trust it.
It's hard to argue with that.
I'd love to be wrong, man. I'd love to be wrong. But going into some other games, the Nuggets beat the Timberwolves tonight 128-116. They were led by 25 from Paul Millsap, who's having another terrific season. He had 25 points in 26 minutes, shot 9 for 11 from the field, 4 for 6 from the three-point land. He's really improved his three-point shot. That's a guy who's not declining with age. He's 34 now, and he's still going strong. He's become really underrated, I think, in my opinion. Jokic.
Chat's killing you for saying Alvin Gentry's a good coach. I don't think
he's not a good coach. He's better than Stotts.
Except for when he coached against Stotts, yeah.
We've seen him outcoach Stotts the first round against the Pelicans where we got swept by them. Yeah,
he owns Stotts for sure.
Gentry isn't a great coach, but Stotts isn't a great coach. So, Jokic had 24 for the Nuggets. There's somebody on the Timberwolves that I think is going to, maybe not this year, but next year I feel like he's the next Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn type of guy. I don't even know if I'm gonna say his first name right, but Keelan Martin. Do you know who that is, Eric?
Yeah.
Played at Butler. I liked his game at Butler. I just got a vibe that he's going to be like the next guy like that, because he's just he's a guy who can play defense but also score the ball a bit. But he had 21 tonight. He had 21, 4 rebounds, 7 for 15 from the field. I'm just going out on a limb like he's going to be a solid role player for them next season. He's a two-way contract guy, but I think I don't know. He doesn't have like many weaknesses for a two-way player. Obviously, he's not great. He's a two-way player, but for a two-way player, he seems pretty well-rounded, seems pretty polished to me. I forgot the Timberwolves got James Johnson. What were you going to say?
He's got to improve his shooting. He wants to be.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I mean, he's shooting, let's see.
37% from the field and 25.4%
from three. But
three.
The last. Yeah, that's the one thing is his shooting. But I think, I don't know. I think he can be a solid shooter. I'm just going out on a limb. It's just a vibe I get. I'm not going to try and back it up with too much logic. I just, remember this. If he becomes good, remember this.
All right. If he sucks, I'll also remember it.
Well, the expectation is that he's going to suck. So, anyway.
Chat, call it out. Call him out. If
but the thing is, if I said that last year about Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson, you guys would be laughing up a storm, So I don't want to hear it.
Wasn't Kendrick Nunn in college last year?
No, he was in the G League.
Yeah.
He's a rookie this year. He literally got a two-way contract for a little bit with the Warriors and then got cut or something like that. There's something, or maybe it was he got a training camp invite last season, not this season, last season with the Warriors and then got cut or something like that. He was a member of the Warriors but never got on the court and then got cut. And Duncan Robinson was a two-way player last year who nobody knew of. So, But Keelan Martin
Duncan
tonight.
Robinson can actually shoot.
Hey, Keelan Martin shot 3 for 8 from the three-point land tonight, 7 for 15 from the field, had 21 points, played 30 minutes for the Timberwolves.
You're literally the only one saying that, so I will give you props if he does turn out
exactly.
But you have, if he never becomes anything, then
none has slipped lately. He's still a really good player considering he's an undrafted rookie. But Jordan McLaughlin had 15 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds for the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are playing some no-name guys that are actually not playing terribly. Jordan McLaughlin for the season, maybe that's the guy I should be saying could be good because they don't really have a backup point guard at the moment. Jordan McLaughlin's played 20 games, averaging 19 minutes per game, getting 7 points per game, 4 assists, shooting 45% from the field, 38% from 3. So that's they got some scrubs playing, but scrubs that are showing up. Naz Reid had 13 and 5. Yeah, I don't know why I'm going through all these scrubs, but let's move on to the next game. Raptors destroyed the Pacers 127-81. The Pacers are a hard team to figure out right now since Oladipo's return. I think Oladipo might be making them worse. Oladipo didn't even play, so never mind. Oladipo did not play tonight. I don't know why they struggled. Oh, they shot 33% from 3. Just all around, everybody struggled. The Raptors are really good too, man. The Raptors are legit. 42 and 15. That's insane. What they're doing without Kawhi. Even if they didn't win a championship last year, that trade would have still been a good trade because they are still just as good this year as they were with DeRozan the year before they traded Kawhi. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like they didn't even lose anything from losing Kawhi, from trading for Kawhi and then losing him. They lost Pirtle, a late pick, and DeRozan. They're still just as good as they were. So that's impressive from them. I don't know how many they've won in a row, but I think it's a lot.
I usually don't root for other teams, but if the Blazers don't make the playoffs, I think I might root for the Raptors.
I'll be rooting for the Raptors. I'll be rooting for the Pacers.
I think that'd be cool if they won the title without.
It'd be cool if the Bucks won the title. You know what I mean? There's a number of teams in the East that I'd like to see make a run. Even the Heat with what they've done this year, they're role players. I know they won it with LeBron, but like, Myers winning a ring. The Bucks too. The Bucks just because it's like Milwaukee, and I like Giannis. I hope Giannis stays. And then they got West. They got Pat Connaughton. They got Robin Lopez. There's a lot of teams I'd like to see come out of the East. I'm going to be rooting for whoever comes out of the East, unless the Blazers make the finals, obviously. And the Eastern Conference playoffs are going to be a ton of fun. Bulls beat the Wizards 126-117. Kobe White had 33 again, so I guess this is his second game in a row with 33. Bradley Beal had 53 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists in the loss. Shot 15 for 27 from the field, 5 for 11 from 3. Davis Bertans 22 off the bench.
There's a meme of Beal just looking all pissed off on the bench.
Why did he sign an extension if he doesn't want to be there? I don't get it.
I don't know.
I do not get it. Thomas Satoransky had 15 points and 13 assists. 6'7", that wouldn't be a bad... That would be... See, like, Olshey wants a big playmaker, because that's who he wanted Hazonia to be this year. That's who Turner was in the past. If he really wants a big playmaker, find a way to go out and get Satoransky, because he can actually shoot, and he can actually, like, he's a better playmaker than both those guys. Like, he's just a better overall player and would fit in that role. So that's a guy I wouldn't be surprised to see us go after. Thad Young at 23. Was kind of surprised he didn't get traded. There was a lot of rumors around him. Thunder blew out the Spurs 131-103. Thunder playing good basketball. They beat the Nuggets, and they just destroyed the Spurs. Aldridge in 21 minutes only had 8 points. DeRozan in 23 minutes only had 11 points. DeJounte Murray was 0 for 7. Didn't score. Yeah, San Antonio played everybody. Dort. That's a guy I wish we got with a 2-way contract. I was saying that right after the draft. I forget how to say his first name. It's like Luguentz. You know who I'm talking about?
I think it's Luguentz.
Luguentz Dort.
I might not.
He was 6 for 6. He had 15 points. He's been impressive for them. He started for them tonight. That's a 2-way player starting for a team that's in contention. Like, he's going to be, I think, a role player in this league. The 2-way contracts are starting to actually work. We're starting to see more players, undrafted rookies, that are developing into role players on good teams. Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, I think Christian Wood was on 2-way in the past. I don't know. There's other players that I'm kind of forgetting, spacing on, but we're starting to see more players come from that 2-way contract and become good, NBA players. And it's fun to see. It's fun to watch guys come from nowhere, come from obscurity, especially when I knew who they were in college and nobody in the NBA knows who they are, and then they start coming up and, oh yeah, Dort played at Arizona State. I got all the facts, all that type of stuff, but I'm definitely blanking on some names there too that fit under that. Last game of the night, the Pelicans beat the Warriors. Let's see how Zion did. Zion had 28 and 7. Why did Hack just message me and say you're effing welcome? I'm so confused. Drew Holiday had 23, 15, and 7. Is Hack watching the stream? Hack, you watching the stream, man? I don't know. Anyway, that's around the NBA. So, Tori, you see Peyton Pritchard making it into the league. Probably as a late second-round pick. I'd like to see it since I played against him and since I blocked one of his shots, and since I actually probably outplayed him in the game I played against him. So I'd like to see him make it to the NBA because, like, for that day I was better. So, like, if I somehow, extrapolated that out, I could also be in the NBA. Oh, my
God.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, because Robert Frank's never gotten an NBA game. That's the other guy that I played well against that's the only other guy that was like on an NBA roster or had a chance of being on an NBA roster that I played against. Tori going into this mode again. Hey man, I'm just speaking facts, man. I wasn't the one who brought that up. I was the one who brought up Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, but someone asked if If you thought he could make it in the league and you made it all about you play.
Well, I can throw this football over that mountain.
Yeah.
It's like more of like a ant hill.
Your Uncle Rico.
But no, I mean that's the truth, man. That's the truth. No,
Yeah,
honestly, it would be cool to see him make the NBA just because of somebody I played against. Like that is actually a fact. Like that is actually how I feel about that. Like, be cool to see somebody that I played against in the NBA. You know, I mean, how many of you guys have met NBA players, let alone played against one? You know, I mean, Eric has. Eric's old though. Older than me.
I've played against a lot of NBA players. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I remember watching Peyton Pritchard and Les Schwab as a freshman, you know? Like, I remember being like, damn, this kid's a freshman. This kid's nice. So it'd be cool to see him make the league. I'll drop Torrey off and ball. No, you won't, man. You better buy some merch. Show up in some merch so I respect you and might take it a little bit easier on you if you're wearing my merch, and then maybe you have a chance, okay? But if you're like not wearing my merch and then you show up, I'm dusting you. You're not gonna back up that talk. You're gonna get worked on that court. And yeah, so if you want a chance, you better buy some merch. Link's right there. Link's right there. God, I suck at pointing to these things. Link's right there. Link is in the description.
I played basketball today for the first time.
How was it? Like shooting,
it was all right.
Or like playing like actual
No,
basketball?
I mean, I wouldn't say I was full on playing. I was kind of half-assing it, but like I actually like played in a game. Ran up and down the court a little bit. It's pretty sore today, but it was fun to be back out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet, man. I'm excited to play some pickup runs.
Man, if the weather stays nice, we can start playing soon.
I might have to get a weekend job though, so I know. I need to get a part-time job. I want to get a part-time job working 2 days a week, 16 hours a week. I need to get off the ground. I wish the channel, took care of everything, but I've been looking at jobs and stuff lately.
Yeah, but you just said you can't wait to start running, and then you're like,
I might not be.
Yeah, we could do that soon, and you're like, nah. But like until you have
I
a
ain't
job,
trying to do in 50-degree weather and like where it might rain. I don't know, unless we find a good park. But we did that last year. It was kind of miserable, So like, yeah, if the weather's like this, yeah, I just wouldn't want it to be like, oh, we showed up for a run and then we can't for another month. I want it to be like once we get going like consistently.
Yeah.
Work at Eric's store. It's too far away.
We need to find a good like undercover place to go.
Yeah. But no, we'll run some, and Chiefin, you ain't gonna do anything, man. I guarantee it. I've beat D1 players 1-on-1, bro. So you better like bring it and wear some merch, so I'll take it easy on you. Work at a dispensary. I don't smoke or anything, so water boy for the Blazers. Then you can peep all Stotts play breakdowns. I'd get fired within two days if I still did post-game shows. Stott said this crap in the huddle, and I was just standing there like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, you want that to be my post-game show? Chiefin, you're a hooper. Okay, what level you play at? What your highest level, bro? I'm trying to see what these.
Remember, isn't Chiefin the one that played against you and Les Schwab or something?
Oh yeah, and like didn't score. It had like 3 turnovers or something. Oh no, so he played Les Schwab. Okay, so he is like somewhat legit, but he ain't beating me 1-on-1, bro. Like that'll be good content though. We can record it playing Chief and Blazers 1-on-1, or just like Blazers Uprise pickup runs. That'll be good off-season content, because I'm gonna keep it going strong in the off-season, you guys. I want to keep you guys entertained, even if it's not necessarily like Blazer basketball. But it's Blazer fans playing basketball, so I mean it's kind of the same thing, right? Do you think Portland will give Melo 15 million like Iggy got? They can't give Melo 15 million, and Melo is not going to make 15 million.
Thankfully.
Because they don't have Melo's bird rights. Iggy's bird rights got traded from Golden State to Memphis, and then from Memphis to Miami.
Chief, and name the time. I'll meet you there.
Eric will come there. I'm in Vancouver, man. I'm in North Vancouver, so going down to Beaverton is a tall task.
I played the Hillsborough 24, Chiefin.
Hillsborough. Yep. But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, I wanted to figure out why Hack said you're welcome. Oh, he helped me with the website.
Did he do some upgrades or something?
Yeah. Shout out to Hack. So Hack is the guy who sets up that BlazersUprise.com site for me, and helps me with it, just as a favor. So huge shout out to Hack. I don't think he's watching the stream, but I gotta give him a huge shout out because he's helped me with that. Gotta repay him in the future or something, or give him free merch or something.
Hey Chief, and so do you play at the Shoals one then? Because I go to that one sometimes too. It's the only non-sport one that still has a kids club. What do you play often or just randomly?
Sorry, I was answering my phone. Anyway, Murray. We'll figure it out. The thing is, I'll post on the community tab too. Or I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't want to make it that public. I don't know. What do you think? Would want to have people message me on Twitter or something if they are interested.
For what?
Pickup runs. I don't know if I want to make it that public where I post it in the community tab. And some people don't see that. I don't know.
Well, I'd be cool with on a live stream just be like, hey, this Saturday, if you guys can make it,
because we'll still be doing Friday podcasts. So
yeah.
Friday podcasts. So the people that are watching the podcast or watch it back, those are the people that get to run it with us. That makes sense. You're right. Do you guys notice that there's always a major disease in the area of the Olympics prior to it starting? Zika in Brazil, now the corona. I don't know much about Zika, but maybe just a coincidence? I'm not sure. If that'd be kind of a crazy coincidence. You have to play in Portland. I mean, I don't have to play in Portland, but
we often go.
Yeah, I mean that's where we usually play our pickup runs, but I don't have to do anything. But I know that's easiest for you guys. That's easiest for the people I usually run pickup with. So there's been times where I've watched your guys' post-game stream while waiting for a game at 24, and you guys are like Chiefin's late, LOL. That's kind of cool, man. That's kind of cool that you're waiting to get on the court at 24 and watching our post-game show. That's awesome. Always wonder, where are people watching this right now? What are they watching it on? Where are they watching it?
I haven't obviously played lately. The last time I was at that 24, I just shot around. I wasn't able to run yet. But before that, the last time I was there, just for high pickup times, they had a worker there on the court running the scoreboard and the clock and stuff, making sure the games got on and people weren't.
That's pretty cool.
Trying to cut and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty hardcore there.
The average human. That's. I don't know why that comment's so funny to me.
Actually, that would be less than one, wouldn't it? Because
there's more female. Yeah. So like
well,
point.
even if there was exactly the same male to female, there's some males that don't have any either. So
Why are we going into depth on this, man? You
I don't
like
know.
full breakdown. Sub males do not have. Oh, it's late night hours with Eric Brandt. Everybody.
Chiefin's only 5'11". You can just back him down.
Chiefin's only 5'11", saying he's gonna beat me 1-on-1. Yeah, come on, man. Bro? I guards well. I don't bite on crossovers, and I'm not slow laterally. And if like you better be able to shoot, or I'm just gonna sag on you. And if you can shoot, I can guard you close enough to really bother your shot while being far enough away where you can't just blow by me. Like, I know how to guard guards. I know how to read crossovers, man. So I want to hear nothing about no left hang. Like, you're gonna hang the ball out here and then cross me over, and I'm gonna go that way, and you're gonna go this way. Like, it's not gonna happen. And even if you beat me, I'll be right on your hip, and I'm blocking that, man. You better do some like fancy Dame like reverse or something. But I'm ready. I'm ready, Chief, and let's get it, man. Let's get it. I'm excited for this. Actually, you got me hyped up. You got me excited.
We just need to do it soon if the weather's nice. Soon.
Bro, this man really just said he's quicker and stronger. Yeah, no, you better stop talking and better back it up. You're a little body, 6'4". My arms aren't. I'm stronger than I look. My arms aren't that skinny. Like, and it's not. I don't know. You ain't gonna back me down, and even if you do, you're 5 inches shorter, bro. But hey, chat. You guys ready for Chiefin and me to play 1-on-1? Are you ready for that content? Cause that'll.
I'll record it.
I need like a tripod, and I need to figure out how to record that. But no, I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'll set up my DLSR camera on a tripod, and we'll get it going.
Tory minus 20.
I'm favored by 20. Picks against the spread. Me versus Chief, and I'm favored by minus 20. We're going to 21. Height shames, man. He's the one talking trash to me, and he's saying he's 5'11". I'm just saying, being 5'11" is fine, but if you're trying to beat me 1-on-1 and you're 5'11", dude, you're not a pro, bro. You Chiefin', man. I don't think, like, I like the confidence. Okay, I have the same type of confidence. I like the confidence. I respect it.
But Eric Milligan had confidence too.
And we ain't even gonna go down that road because we all need to. Let's just say that. Like, anybody can have confidence. I've had garbage players have confidence against me thinking they could beat me 1-on-1. Bro, okay, number one, what does white have to do with anything? 2, you're acting like I'm some average player, like I didn't play in college or anything. Like, you're disrespecting me. You don't know who you're talking to, I guess. I don't know. I'll give you the same heat back. Hopefully chat's entertained. But yeah, Eric can do the play-by-play.
If I meet up with Chiefin at 24, I'll beat him 1-on-1 first, and then be like, dude, you can't even beat me. You won't be able to beat Tory.
Yeah, for real. What? I've seen your 3v3 tape. You're gonna settle for jumpers. What are you what? That doesn't make any sense. I didn't settle for jumpers in 3-on-3. You're probably gonna foul me. I'm ready to be fouled because you're gonna have to. EB injured minus 19, favored by 19. But bro, I can score. I can score in all types of ways.
Chiefin's gonna implore the Tory rules when we play 1-on-1.
Take him to school, just dunk on him. Chiefin's gonna play the. What do you mean? Oh, where you can't just back him down with 20 dribbles, back him under the hoop, and then turn around and score.
Yeah, whenever Tory and I have played 1-on-1, he's like, "Oh, you can't back me down. That's not fair."
Zacho says, honestly, Chiefin has a good chance if he plays good defense, is at the top of his game, and works hard to get boards. I could definitely see the score being 21-0 in favor of Tory. Yep, if he plays well, he could definitely get it to 21-0 me. Tory played the 4 and 5 in high school, bro. I did, man. Like this dude's like disrespected me, acted like I don't know. He doesn't know who he's talking to, man. I guess I don't know. But this will be good. This will be good. He better show up. Imagine Chiefin beats you.
That would be hilarious.
He ain't beating me. And if he did beat me, I wouldn't upload the video. So, no, I'm just kidding. I'd upload the video.
I would.
But no, he ain't beating me. Well, it'd be on my camera. Yeah, I know. I'm an NBA level player.
I'll record it on my camera too, and then you won't.
Okay.
Have any?
But you don't have the password.
What are you gonna do? Smash my phone?
You're gonna what? Upload it to Twitter?
Sure.
But no, I'm not saying. Hey, he played like decent level high school ball. Like Chiefin's not a bad player, so I'm not saying. Like he's like, I'm not saying, oh, for sure I'm gonna beat him, whatever, blah blah blah. I'm saying his disrespect makes no sense, and his like breakdown of what's gonna happen is unrealistic.
Chiefin's gonna show up in Pinwheel Empire gear. That'd be hilarious.
Like, Chiefin's either gonna like try and make me shoot jump shots, which I can't shoot, but I suck shooting outside, so that might be a problem. Or he's going to pressure me thinking that I can't get by him. Can't believe you guys are still talking about this. We've only been talking about this for like 7 minutes.
Where have you been, Russell Westbrook?
My guy, Russell, first round.
You haven't even been in here, man. We're probably listening, but doing other stuff.
Yep. Yeah,
Chiefin's going to be out like the next month until you guys play. He's going to be training like 8 hours a day.
Man, I got my Rec League championship game in 2 days. Okay. And then I can start my training. I forgot that. Wow, he forgot there was a game tonight. You got the mid-range all day, Tori. I'll probably just try and get to my floater, get to my hook. He's 5'11", so probably would either go for like 2s because we play 1s or 2s. Probably just go for 2s or try and get to that little 5-foot hook or floater or whatever. Bro, just don't show up in a headband or in tube socks. Not gonna happen. My mom and brother's B-day is in 2 days. Your mom has the same birthday as your brother? That's interesting. Happy birthday to him. Tell them the Uprise guys say happy birthday.
It's Eric Lee's birthday in 2 days as well.
Eric Lee. Nice.
From chat.
Nice. Anyone have Dame 6s? No, but they look pretty good. You have the same B-day as your dad too? Okay, now I don't know if I believe you because that'd be crazy. Like your parents planned that or something. Happy birthday, Uncle Daddy.
Yeah, Tori, I'm gonna meet up with Chief in here soon, and
yeah, you gotta give me a breakdown.
I'll let you know.
You gotta give me a breakdown, and you gotta give me like a scouting report. And I'm gonna learn his scouting report, and I'm gonna exploit it.
Hey, Chief, and are you on Twitter? What's your handle on Twitter if you are?
Chiefin, I literally just said you played. Okay, so Chiefin just said it's not that serious. I play people 1-on-1 all day. I mean, like it's not that serious, but we are talking talking trash about playing one-on-one in a competitive way. I like it. But he also said, I think y'all think I'm a random person who just liked basketball. Basketball's like my second love. I literally just admitted that you played high-level college basketball playing Les Schwab. Like, I literally just, like, brought that up.
He's saying he's talking to chat, not you.
Oh, y'all. I mean, like, I just brought that up. So I just tried to educate chat for you. So I don't know if he's talking to me or talking to chat. Okay, he's talking to chat. I mean, chat's just trolling. Chat's doing what chat does best. Chat's entertaining. Chat's entertaining me, entertaining themselves as well. Your sister is left out and only has her own birthday. This factual, Trevin. That's crazy, man. The people's mix. Yikes, pause. Big chunk. I don't know what that means. Solar money eat. I don't know what that is. Zacho says Chief and just sidestep and step backs on Eric. I mean, like, Chiefin ain't getting to the rim on Eric. Like, Chiefin better hit jumpers against Eric. And then, like, Chiefin gonna have a hard time stopping Eric from posting him up. The thing is, the 2 times I beat Eric, I was just hitting threes. And Eric wasn't coming out all the way. He was also injured.
Well, yeah, I still can't move very well, so...
Yeah. So Chiefin's gonna, like, take advantage of that and then be like, yeah. Oh, look at me, I beat Eric. If he gives me jumpers, I'm going to shoot. Well, I don't know if you're a shooter or not. We'll see. I'm not an outdoor shooter. I'm an indoor shooter. So, how tall are you guys? Hashtag Blazers Uprise. I'm 6'4", without shoes. 6'4" without shoes. Eric's, what, 6'5.5" without shoes or something like that?
Like 6'5" and 7/8.
Yeah. And Eric's strong, too. So yeah, we're big. Like, we're not short.
Randall says I dominated Dixon Rec. Yeah, I'm a legend at the Oregon State Rec Center, but that was like 20 years ago. So,
Near 012 says later, guys. Hopefully we get an and 2 mixtape reel and 2 instead of and 1. Appreciate the $2 donation.
But yeah, I'm 40 now. I'm not quite in my prime anymore.
I've been money on double rims outdoor lately. Shot 10 for 16 from 3 in my last 5 games. How do you know you're 3-point shooting for your last 5 games on outdoor rims? That's interesting.
Like pickup games or what?
Tori, have you broke Eric before? Like broke his ankles? No. No, I've hit him with like good crossovers before, but I'll hit anybody with a good crossover. I don't know. It's not like...
I've hit Tori with a crossover before, too.
Oh, yeah, when I was trying to steal the ball. When I was like, oh, this big guy could steal the ball, and then you... What, was it? Was it a behind the back or just a normal one?
I got both in my arsenal.
Arsenal. Your dribble package. I don't think I've fully seen your dribble package. So Rip City 3-on-3 next year. I want you to be more creative. Obviously, you'll be healthier. Hopefully, knock on wood.
Yeah.
But honestly, you be more creative with the way you play, with your like dribble moves, that type of thing. Because you just bully people, man, and I like it. But I know you got more.
Well, the thing is, I in half court, it's a lot harder to. I'm more of a full court guy, so.
Tori, do you ever try to do sidestep threes? Okay, it's time to bring up a video on the phone here.
Oh, great.
This is just me shooting around the other day. I mean, like, I shoot. I have a bunch of different shots that I can shoot. I can shoot off the dribble. I can shoot, like, I work on all different types of moves. That's why I'm confident in beating you one-on-one.
Tori was just waiting for someone to bring this up so he could play it.
No, I wasn't. Get out of here with that. I'm just gonna show him a sidestep since he asked. Like, He's the one who's asking. NBA range. There you go. All right. There you go. There's your sidestep from NBA range. Maybe it wasn't the sidestep he's talking about, but I can shoot the Lillard left, pushing off to the right side step. I'm more comfortable doing it off a wraparound behind the back before I do it. So, do I have a basketball in here? I don't have a basketball. But usually I try and wrap it around behind the back and step in and then step back and fade like that. But
Russell Westbrook says you're on your burner account on YouTube asking questions so you can play the
talking trash. Hey, while I show the video, I'm talking trash as Chiefin too somehow. That'd be skilled. I'm typing with my toes. You guys should try to film yourselves playing the professor. He's an Oregonian. That would be fun to watch. I would love to play the professor. He'd cook me because that dude's insane. But I can shoot that basketball over a mountain. Y'all about to make me go to 24. Yeah, I want to play right now too. You got me.
Chief, and you didn't answer if you're on Twitter. Do you follow me?
I think he is.
I'll play you tomorrow night.
I want the footage.
You just want the full scouting report?
I want the
broken down
footage.
video?
Yes, I'm gonna break it down live on stream. I'm gonna point out his weaknesses that I can exploit. I nitpick. Look at the angle of his elbow on this dribble.
He sent me a DM. Dude, I respond to every DM I've ever gotten, so send it again because I don't think that's true.
I can't say the same, honestly. I can't say the same. I get a lot of DMs.
DM me right now. We can maybe meet up this week and play.
I feel like Chiefin doesn't protect the ball well when driving. I don't know what Randall Pink Floyd is talking about, but if you guys message us, we get messages from a lot of different people, so if we don't remember them or we don't respond to them, it's nothing, personal. We just get a lot, and if I'm tweeting about the game, I'm focused on the game, and I get a lot of DMs during the game. I might not see them until it's a couple days later, and then it's not really relevant. I don't know, the question was about what should we do the rest of this game, and then the game is over and I already broken it down, so I won't reply, or I don't know. Just don't be offended if we don't respond or don't remember DMs. Man, I need some Tums. Got some heartburn. You know what I was thinking about the other day?
What's up?
So I had some Taco Bell the other day. In Panda, you get the fortune cookie. That's just a part of every meal. That's just what they give out with it.
Mm-hmm.
For Taco Bell, they should partner with Tums and give out Tums with every meal. Because I swear Taco Bell gives you heartburn for 3 days after you eat it. So they should give you Tums as well. Counteract that crap because it's not good.
I think they should give something other than Tums. Some diarrheal medicine.
Some Pepto-Bismol.
Yep.
That's what first round exit Westbrook just said. Yeah, I don't know. Both. Put them both in there, honestly, because their food is already more expensive than other fast food places. Anybody see his hat? Nobody's Blazers hat. What are you talking about? Oh, nobody's. Oh, Melo? I'm not sure. I have to say right now, I take back my criticism of Melo. He's playing great. I saw some plays that remind me of New York Knicks. He did the plays half-heartedly, but he's kicking it. I mean, when he shoots well, he looks good, and he's a solid player. When he misses shots, he's not a good player. That's just got to get him hitting more shots on a more consistent basis. That is the thing with him. Is his game is however he shoots, because he's one of those players that if he's not shooting well, it doesn't really bring you anything else. His defense has regressed. Even his passing has regressed. He's back to a guy that needs to score efficiently to be a helpful player. And the problem is he's kind of been inefficient lately. But he still has the talent to have games like he did tonight, you know. It wasn't shocked to see him have a game like he did tonight, and it was a good game. It was fun to watch. It's I just wish it was more consistent. Zippo the Hippo says, "Damn, y'all are still live." Yeah, we usually do our post-game streams for like 2.5 hours or so. We're not even 2 hours in. So yeah, we're still here, man. It's a make or miss league. Yeah, but there's a lot of players in the league that like are decent defenders and like better passers, and you know can affect the games in other ways. Melo really doesn't. He kind of hurts us in other ways, so he needs to be scoring to make up for that, and to help the team. So just infuse the Tums/Pepto with the meat would save us a lot of time. True.
All right, I got a DM from Chiefin, so we're all good.
I honestly might go get some Tums right now, cause I don't know why I randomly got. I haven't eaten all day. Maybe it's hunger. I don't know. Who is your personal player comparison, Tori? Oh, that's tough. Like 1-on-1 or like 5-on-5 indoors, like rec league, or 4-on-4 indoors rec league? Because like it's a different style of play, you know. I don't know.
Normally it's Dame, but you know.
No, honestly,
sometimes it's LeBron, AD.
Honestly, like in my rec league, I'd say my play style is a mixture of see, like I don't want to like say somebody that's like too good, because I should say him. So that's why I'm saying mixture, because it's gonna be like one really good player and one like mediocre player. I want to see if you can guess either of the players, Eric. One
Mario Hazonia.
No, what the? Not that bad. That's not. I said a mediocre player, not a G League player.
That was chat, not me.
Oh.
I can take credit for that.
Who do you think is a good player that I'm thinking of that I play like? Like in my rec league.
Like Paul George?
Nope.
I don't know.
I'm like a mixture of Luka Doncic and Nicholas Batum in my rec league. Like a better defending Luka, but just like big playmaker. That's kind of like crafty, driving inside, uses his body well. Like doesn't, I don't know, can play at his own pace, make plays for others. Batum, just because he's kind of the same, like he kind of that big small forward that can pass, but he's like a lot worse. You know what I mean?
So you're a 30% 3-point shooter.
I'm probably better than that. I'm streaky like Luka. I'm probably higher than 32% in my rec league. I'm probably more like 37, 38. My shot's just like streaky. I'm trying to get it back because I kind of messed with my form too much and didn't really have one consistent shooting form for a while. So I'm trying to just like actually work on my shot more than I have in the past. So I'm kind of getting it back. So I'll have games where I'll hit like 4 threes in a row, and I'll pull up from NBA range and hit a contested 3, but then I'll have games where I like am like 1 for 7, 1 for 8, which is like most basketball players. I just feel like I'm a bit streaky, and Luka's definitely streaky. So in terms of 1-on-1, maybe like, who would you say, Eric? Play me 1-on-1.
That's more like Mario Hazonia.
That's BS because I literally dropped like 5 threes in a row on you to beat you both times. So I was actually wanting a serious comparison.
Yeah, I don't
know. For Eric, I'd say he is actually a lot like DeMarcus Cousins.
Right now, especially
Like, why? Why especially right now?
because we're both injured and trying to get better.
Hopefully not like the whole off the court stuff either. The legal stuff. Hopefully you're not.
Nah,
I don't even remember what that was with DeMarcus, but
some domestic dispute thing.
yeah. Tori, on some real basketball talk, do you really believe in the Bucks if Giannis can't get inside the paint? You really trust in Chris Middleton? Yes, I'm trusting Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton's one of the most underrated players in the league. That's another good comparison. I feel like, but I'm not like that type of 3-point shooter. But like let me look up Chris Middleton's stats, okay? Because there's his per game stats would look better if the Bucks weren't as good, because he literally only plays 30 minutes per game because the Bucks blow so many teams out. So in 29.7 minutes per game, Chris Middleton gets 20.7 points per game, 6.2 rebounds per game, 4.2 assists per game, shooting 50.8% from the field, 44% from 3, and 90.5% from the free throw line. Per 36 minutes, he's getting... So, like, if he's playing per 36 minutes per game, he'd be getting 25 points per game, 7.5 rebounds per game, 5 assists on 50, 44, 90, with a true shooting percentage of 63%. And he plays good defense on top of that. Yes, I'm trusting Chris Middleton. He might be the most underrated player in the league, honestly. What do you think?
But Bledsoe hasn't been bad either.
Yeah. What do you think about Middleton, man? Middleton's been amazing this year.
Middleton's having a great season. I don't know what I had someone in the forum the other day was saying, everyone on the Bucks outside of Giannis is meh. And I'm like, really? Like, have you looked at Chris Middleton's stats, or have you not watched the Bucks play at all
like
this year?
26-4, and it's like, well, they're blowing out so many teams. He's only playing 30 minutes per game. If it's not like if he plays an extra 6, like his production would fall off. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I just don't understand. Like, I think people lie sometimes about how much they watch. Because, like, if you watch the Bucks at all, it's, like, hard to not be impressed by what Middleton's doing this season. And I understand that in years past he's kind of disappeared at times. But, like, and maybe that's where they're getting the not trusting him factor in. But he hasn't been fully healthy like this year in a while either. But I like a lot of their role players too, so I think the Bucks are legit.
Oh, they're legit. They are legit. Like there's a question on Twitter, and it said, out of Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, and Chris Middleton, rank them. Chris Middleton is number 1 for me out of all those guys. Jason Tatum's number 2, Booker's number 3, Beal's number 4. That's how I'd rank them. I'd rank Middleton ahead of all those guys right now. Obviously, if you're like are a young team, obviously you're going to value Booker much, much more than Chris Middleton. Like, because Booker has, is like a number 1 guy. So like for a team, if a team needed a number 1 guy, Devin Booker is a better option than Chris Middleton. But just in terms of their production and the roles they have, Chris Middleton is more productive than Devin Booker, in my opinion, just because, I mean, like, Booker's a better scorer, but Chris Middleton is more efficient. Chris Middleton is nearly the same level of playmaker. Chris Middleton scores almost the same amount of points per minute. If you like get rid of the minutes differential, Chris Middleton is a much, much, much better defender. Chris Middleton is like almost twice the rebounder Devin Booker is. So he's just super, super underrated.
Yeah, I don't think he would be as good like as the main guy on the team, but
he's in the perfect role. He's like
he'll never have to be. Yeah,
perfect number 2 guy. He would be phenomenal as our small forward.
I think he would be better than CJ as our number 2.
He would. Yeah, he's more efficient, better defender, even a better playmaker, better rebounder. Bigger, like he'd be much better than CJ. our defense might actually give up less than 120 points per game.
Who cares if he's ugly or not? That doesn't factor into anything.
Chiefin's here talking trash about how he could beat me one-on-one. Then we talk about like Chris Middleton. We start talking basketball, and his analysis is he's ugly. I'm gonna get Chiefin riled up to the point that he's really gonna go at me, man. Let's trade CJ for Middleton. Not possible. I feel like you're joking with that, Trevin, but I mean, it'd be a great trade for us, but no chance Milwaukee does that. That doesn't make any sense for them. I see people like suggest stuff like that. Like, let's trade a first-round pick for Chris Middleton. It's like, why would they do that? It's like a team saying, let's trade a second-round pick for CJ McCollum. Middleton's probably untouchable unless they got like a top 8, 9, 10 player. Like, we'd have to trade Dame for Middleton. But like, I don't even know if they do that.
The only chance we have of something like that happening would be like if they get upset in the first or second round this year and just decide like this isn't working and try something completely
I just don't see them.
I don't see that happening.
I don't see them downgrading though. Like that CJ's a downgrade in pretty much every aspect of the game. So
the only thing I could say is maybe like Middleton shooting so well this year that it wouldn't be an upgrade shooting wise. Like a lot of like Philadelphia, that's always the argument. You know, they need a shooter around Ben Simmons. Like, so you'd think that's the same way around CJ, but Middleton's a better shooter than CJ this year, so can't really argue that.
And like noticeably better. He's shooting 44%. CJ's shooting what, 38%?
Something like that.
It's not like they need a go-to scorer number one or anything.
But yeah, they would definitely do Dame for Middleton. They would probably do Dame for Middleton and Bledsoe.
I don't know if they do that, man. You look at how good they are this year. It's in part because they have perfect role players surrounding Giannis. Obviously, Dame's an upgrade over Bledsoe, but like Middleton is very crucial to their. Obviously, Dame's better than both of them, but you rock the ship. I'm not sure they would be better if they did that.
If they won it all this year, I'd agree with you. But anything short of a championship this year, they would for sure trade for Dame. Dame's too good.
I mean, maybe in the offseason, but like. If we're talking about like if they could do it right now, I mean like this is just like hypotheticals anyway. So like like I don't think they would this season. Maybe in the off season, but even in the off season, like that's a lot of value, man.
Oh, by the way, speaking of trade things, so CBSSports.com on the front page the other day. Cleveland turned down offer of Kent Bazemore and Hassan Whiteside for Kevin Love right before the deadline. And there was a whole article about it based on that one guy's rumor. That's what drives me crazy.
That's media nowadays.
It's like, okay, like no one's even backed up this claim. And that trade doesn't even work that you just wrote a whole article on that was...
and they didn't point that out?
No, they didn't point that out at all. They just basically said it was they were going at it from like a Cleveland's perspective, like why they would turn that down or what they're expecting to get more, and they're taking a risk, waiting until the offseason, hoping his trade value improves as they go along. But yeah, just dumb. All because of one guy's tweet that doesn't even make sense or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. It doesn't make sense, man. Does not make sense why you'd run with a story like that, but as like a national, you know, if you're a Blazers website or whatever, then yeah, but national CBS Sports, well, they cover every sport in every league for every team, and they're gonna lead with that on their front page.
Well, it didn't even say like apparently the Blazers offered expirings for Love or something like that. It was like the Blazers offered these two players for Love, and Cleveland turned it down, and yeah.
That's media for you, man. That's media.
Yep.
So, probably gonna log off the stream in a second. Enjoyed the stream. Enjoyed being back from the All-Star break. seeing the Blazers win for the first time in a while. For the first time since the ninth. Yeah, it's the first time since the ninth. So this is the first win in 2 weeks. Didn't even really feel like a win because of we were playing the Detroit Pistons and we struggled to beat them at home. Kind of sad, but
at least we got the W.
Yeah, at least we won the game. At least we won the game. So we'll have a podcast tomorrow. Again, stuff in the description. Patreon, if you want to guest on the stream in the future. If you want to guest on the stream, then leave a donation to Patreon. If you have a question that I didn't get to, I didn't answer, post them in the community tab. I want to film the mailbag tonight. Hopefully get it out tomorrow. So the community tab has a question asking for questions for the mailbag. And then merchandise. Get your Blazers Uprise sweatshirts. Get you just rock the community. You know what I mean? They're really good sweatshirts for a really good price. It's high quality stuff for a good price. So yeah, just support us. It supports us, gets you something good. You can rock the community. You know, I'd love to see somebody out there in a Blazers Uprise sweatshirt. That'd be awesome. I love rocking it myself. I fixed the fade on it. It's a little bit less faded than this is. Maybe you guys like that, maybe not. But got a bunch of different colorways, a bunch of different stuff. So that link is also in the community tab. So if you have a question, you want to check out merch, go check out the community tab right now when I log off with this podcast tomorrow, mailbag, all that type of stuff. I think I got everything out of the way. So until next time, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later. Peace out. Go Blazers.